Okay. My name is Craig Reams, and I am helping Mr. Gunnar Barry create this interview video. Today's date is March 9th, 2025. Good morning, Mr. Gunnar. If you could for me, please state your full name and the city and state in which you live in and what it is you are applying for.
Yes, I'm Gunning Beery Jr. I go by Gunner. Live at 303 Oak Lake Circle, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 29582. I'm applying for the O&M orientation class, hopefully to apply for a leader dog.
Okay, thank you. And why are you interested in independent travel?
Well, I am an independent type person, and my glaucoma has taken about 10 years to get me to the point where I got about, I think about 1% of my vision. When we moved here into the city of North Myrtle Beach about 5 years ago, I could still drive, but because of my glaucoma, knew that at some point in time I wasn't going to be able to drive, and it has progressed to a point where I still can walk independently and do certain things around the house, but it's gotten to the point where I did injure my foot by misstepping off the property. I have unfortunately gotten disoriented a few times on my daily walk to McDonald's, which is basically a mile that I do take going in the mornings. Usually I would leave around 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the morning when it's completely dark, so I can see cars, which is my biggest concern. But I walk pretty much the same path. I know where the curbs are. There really are no sidewalks except for the last couple hundred yards. But basically, I want to make it safe. Don't go to the beach anymore. Used to go to the beach with my wife all the time. I'm going to start doing that. But then I go a different direction that I'm not as familiar with. And so we still do traveling. But as soon as I leave a 1 mile radius of the house, I pretty much am at the mercy of the environment and my wife or friends that are driving me to be able to get around properly. I do have to get out of the house all the time, every day. I need the exercise, but I just enjoy getting out and meeting other people and doing things.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for that. And you basically answered the third question in that statement as well. The third question is, do you currently travel independently? And if so, please describe your weekly travel routine. So what I want you to do is kind of just go through what your morning routine would be like when you go to McDonald's.
Okay. After I do still feed the dogs. We do have 4 dogs. There 3 are very small ones, 35 pounds. But after I feed the dogs and then get ready, get dressed, I walk to McDonald's when it's dark. The reason McDonald's is good for me is because it's bright. There's a lot of glass. There are a bunch of other old geezers, and we work on all the problems of the world. But It's a place to kind of go. You know what? It's kind of like our Cheers. Everybody knows your name. At 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning, you pretty much know everybody that's there, the people that work there, and they know you. And I've done that. I've been going there now for probably 8 or 9 years, even when I used to drive. But it's to the point where I know where everything is. But most importantly, it's white tables, it's white floors, but I can see the black grout in between. The contrast is my friend. It's the one thing that allows me to find, I can feed the dogs, I can see their dishes. And so white on black, black on white works out very well. If there's something that's black on a black table, hard for me to find. If there's something white in a white environment, it's hard for me to find. So that's going to McDonald's, we have Waffle House. Waffle House, bright, a lot of glass. I get along well in Waffle House. I've got a couple of other restaurants that are basically the same, and it work out pretty good for me. It's when I get to a dark restaurant that things are much more difficult. When I get to stores, I only have within that mile radius. I do have restaurants, banking, stores. Like my grocery store and pharmacy is Kroger, and I know where about 15 items are, but I can't really get around to find other things other than those 15 items that I go in and buy.
Okay. Now, so I guess what I wanted you to answer out of that question is, do you believe that you're able to get to McDonald's and these other few places simply because you're able to memorize the way? I guess if I'm asking, if you were to attempt to walk to somewhere that you've never walked before, would you be able to get there?
I would say probably, but the navigation would be a difficult. I have problems reading the street signs.
Right.
I would have to go much slower because I don't know where the curbs are, if there's holes, pitfalls, things to watch out for. But my feeling is if I had to get somewhere, I'd work really hard to do it. But I may not be able to go in a place where I had not been before and effectively get around.
Okay.
I may have to ask for help.
Okay. So you're able to get to McDonald's, is it fair to say, because you have it memorized, the path?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's good. All right. Thank you for that one. Your next thing I want you to do is describe your vision to us the best that you can. I mean, you did that pretty good with explaining the contrast, but let's use, when you feed your dogs, for an example, what do you see as you're feeding your dogs? Try to describe it.
Describe it. Okay. The dog dishes are white. I have them on a black towel. And directly behind, they all get the same food. And I've got a scoop, and the food is dark. And so when I put it in their dish, I can see basically how much I have in each one.
Okay.
And then I put some water in, and I have an additive for their teeth. Mm-hmm. And then I feed them in a specific order. But it's because they know where to go, and I know what to feed them, but I can see basically how much food there is in a white bowl.
Okay.
And I know that one the big dog gets filled, the white bowl gets filled to the top,
Right.
and the others are much lower towards the bottom.
Okay, good. Okay. Do you have any independent travel goals that you would like to accomplish? I mean, whether that be on your own or accomplishing any goals if you were to get a guide dog. If you do have any independent travel goals, please describe them.
Well, yes, my kids live in St. Louis, and I would like to be able to fly there. Now, I get wheelchairs whenever we fly, but that doesn't really help me outside of the airport.
Right. It doesn't help with mobility. It helps you get around less walking, but it doesn't help with the eyesight.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct. And we have, in the past 30 some years, done a lot of travel, and we still would hopefully like to travel. Most of it is by air, some is by car, as far as Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. We do those by car. But California and Chicago and Dallas is typically by plane.
And so one of your goals would be to be able to independently go visit, whether it be your son or just you wake up one morning and want to go to Florida for a weekend. You would like to be able to do that independently, is what you're saying.
Yes, I say that, but there's a lot. I haven't specifically done that. I have tried to go through the airports on my own without help, and I can get through security, okay. But it is getting more and more difficult. My limited vision has cut back on my abilities to move around, find a bathroom.
Just
on
walk through
my
the
own.
crowd. Just walking through the crowd's got to be hard.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay. Next one. Obviously, you are interested in working with a guide dog in the future. What are some benefits you believe will come from this?
The ability to get out independently and move as one benefit. Probably the biggest benefit would be safety.
Yep.
Out of, say, roughly 320 days a year, when I walk up to McDonald's, there's been maybe 3 times when I have not, maybe 4, I've not effectively seen or heard traffic, or they don't have lights on. It hasn't been close, but there's safety is my number one issue.
I would agree with that.
What else? Safety and the ability to go to the bank. I can't. Here's my biggest problem is if it's dark, I can get out and go. When it's bright sunshine and we have trees out there and shadows, it's very difficult for me to go through a sunny day. Even though I know where I'm going, the sun and shadows cause a problem.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. Last one. Are there any other details, such as medical conditions or any other physical limitations you wish to share with us?
Not really physical limitations. I I did walk. I did walk off our property September 21st. Fell and busted my heel and ankle into 15 little pieces.
But that could, is it fair to say that could be a direct cause of your eyesight?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
directly due to that.
Okay.
I have had 4 times over the years when I have actually gotten turned around and disoriented, gone to McDonald's. I have missed a turn, and if I miss one turn, then all the rest is off.
Mm-hmm.
And I have.
And would you
I
have to
wind
call
up
somebody?
calling my wife to
Yep.
come find me in the car or golf cart. So it's it has caused issues. Safety is number one, but really just true orientation and being able to get to where I'm supposed to be going or want to go
Right.
is the other.
Okay. Well, thank you, and this will conclude this interview. Yeah.
Great.